Congratulations, TGIF. Thank God it's Frank. That's right. The moment you've all been waiting for. I have finally been successful in taking over the reins of this program. Your email correspondence, your letters, your faxes, your telegrams, your singing telegrams have all come to fruition. And we, I believe, in light of the war on vaping, are going to have a completely tobacco-free version of Liquid Lunch. He's probably on a golf course or on his third or fourth Friday margarita. But wherever he is, I am sure we'll be hearing something about John's whereabouts very, very soon. It's no secret that the big story today is last night's Democratic debate. Hey, did you miss it? If you did, don't worry, because it was 2 hours, and we're going to take the 8 minutes worth watching and play them for you throughout the show. And don't worry, there are 9 more. 9. That's 12 debates. My goodness. People are going to get debate fatigue. All right. To me, the person that stole the show, without a doubt, he may get my vote now, is Andrew Yang in calling for what used to be called graft, what used to be called bribery. Apparently, it's 21st century campaigning. I'm all for it. I signed up. Take a look at what Andrew Yang started with yesterday.
That's why I'm going to do something unprecedented tonight. My campaign will now give a freedom dividend of $1,000 a month for an entire year to 10 American families, someone watching this at home right now. If you believe that you can solve your own problems better than any politician, go to yang2020.com and tell us how $1,000 a month will help you do just that. This is how we will get our country working for us again, the American people.
I've got my $1,000 a month already planned for how I'm going to spend it. I'm excited. I ran to my computer to enter that contest. Fingers crossed. And John A. Tobacco Jr., the traditional host of this program, has decided to join us. Nothing like getting it close there, John.
You can't kill him that easy.
No. Just when you thought it was going to be a Frankie Friday, he's back.
Well, where were you, John?
I was running late. I was tending to some of my real job.
I see, yes. I can relate.
With the token team, crypto advisors, we had some big meetings this morning, and then I had to hustle it up here to I actually pay to come to this job.
All right. Well, so there's a great deal of stuff to get to. We're going to break it down with Jen Kerns, who's a longtime Republican strategist and has actually been a writer for Fox News for some of the Republican presidential debates. Jen, overall, what did you think of the debate last night?
Well, your favorite moment, I felt like, was the Oprah Winfrey show. Like, you get $1,000, you get $1,000.
I loved it.
And only 10 families are getting that, so.
Hopefully my family is one.
I think the chance of getting struck by lightning or hit by a car is probably better. But look, in terms of winners
and by the way, let me say to any of the other candidates, I am willing to vote for you if you'll give me $1,000 as well. My vote is absolutely for sale.
A month, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
I do like that he called it a freedom dividend. I think that's the only time during this democratic process that we've actually heard the word freedom. So good for Andrew Yang. I think in terms of winners and losers, first of all, the winners last night were the American people, because for the first time in a long time, we didn't have to sit through 2 democratic debates. It was one stage, one night. I thought that was great. But I think Joe Biden actually won last night because, look, despite all of his gaffes, and there have been many, the guy is still on stage. The guy is still among the top 3, probably the presumed nominee. And everyone was gunning for him. And when everyone's gunning for you, that means you are still the leader. And if you look at Joe Biden, he only has to survive 4 more months of this until he becomes, I think, the presumed nominee. The first Democratic primary is Tuesday, February 3rd. That's only 4 months and a week or 2 from now. That's the same amount of time it's been for Joe Biden to survive from June until now, which I think were his roughest months. If he can make it to February 3rd, I think it's his. You have February 3rd in Iowa, the caucuses, then New Hampshire the week after, then Nevada, then South Carolina, February 28th, and then you have Tuesday, March 3rd, Super Tuesday. I think it's going to be over, and we'll know who the candidate
that early.
is.
All done by March 3rd.
All these predictions
Jen Kerns
about a brokered convention or this is going right for the last couple, you're not buying that.
There's always a story, and there's going to be this, and those delegates are going to pull out.
That's all the last-minute kabuki theater, but it never happens way.
If it would have happened in 2016 when people felt so personally about Bernie Sanders and how he was treated poorly. If it didn't happen in 2016, it certainly won't happen for Biden, who people are a bit more lukewarm about.
And, every day on Liquid Lunch, we demonstrate our purpleness, and we have our Mix It Up segment where we have a Democrat and a Republican. Jen's here as an expert today on debates, but she's been in the Mix It Up as well. And coming up today is John Burnett and his favorite Democratic opponent, David Eisenbach, who just happens to be our own presidential historian because he's a Columbia professor. And he's going to tell us, this far out in the race, how often do any of the top contenders actually become the president? I understand where Jen's coming from, that she thinks Biden's going to hold on for the last 4 months. But a lot of strange things happen, Jen. A lot of times the ones that you're looking at don't turn out to be the ones that make it to the finish line.
Yeah.
And I thought Joe had plenty of gaffes last night. And everyone's talking about this Julian Castro moment.
Yeah.
Where, he went after Joe and everything else.
You want to take a look? Let's take a look in case people missed it and they made the wise decision to watch a Family Guy rerun instead.
Okay.
So this was, I thought actually the best part of the debate was their discussion of health care, because Biden, I thought, did actually a great job explaining why single payer and Medicare for all wouldn't work in America, at least. Take a look at Julian Castro's response. I think it's Julian, it might be Juan or Fidel, to Joe Biden's health care proposal.
Barack Obama's vision was not to leave 10 million people uncovered. He wanted every single person in this country covered. My plan would do that. Your plan would not.
They do not have to buy in. They do not have to buy in.
You just minutes ago?
Being for it.
Are you forgetting already what you said just 2 minutes ago? I mean, I can't believe that you said 2 minutes ago that they had to buy in, and now you're saying they don't have to buy. You're forgetting that.
I said anyone like your grandmother who has no money.
We need a healthcare system.
You're automatically
enrolls people regardless of whether they choose to opt in or not. If you lose your job, for instance, his health care plan would not automatically enroll you. You would have to opt in. My health care plan would. That's a big difference. I'm fulfilling the legacy of Barack Obama, and you're not.
I'll be surprised to him.
I was watching it last night. Frankie, I was texting you. But I thought, Jen, the scariest part was, in the aftermath, Castro was wrong. He misheard what Biden said. But Biden is looking at him like paralyzed, like a deer in headlights, like, wait, did I just make a gaffe? Like, he didn't even know if Castro was right or wrong. And then the killer moment, if you ask me, was he looks over at Bernie Sanders like, come on, give me a hand here. And Bernie actually walked away from his podium. If you look at it, he walks over and he leans over and whispers in Joe's ear, oh, no, don't worry, you didn't screw up, Joe.
Yeah.
So, that's scary. And then he's just sitting there like a deer in headlights.
And this was like watching the two old guys in the balcony on the Muppet Show, talk to each other like,
what were their names? What were their names? Do either of you remember their names?
No.
Statler and Waldorf, okay? Statler and Waldorf. So, Jennifer, the next October debate, Tom Steyer has made the stage, which means we're once again going to be having a two-night affair.
Yep.
Bill de Blasio and Tulsi Gabbard are still struggling to get that second poll to turn to this two-night format.
Yeah, well, look, there was one word that was not mentioned at all, not a single time last night, and that was the I word. They did not mention the word impeachment, but I tell you what, that's Tom Steyer's #1 issue, and in fact, I think that's Tom Steyer's only issue. He's trying to buy his way into the race on the impeachment card. So you're going to see that talked about quite a bit. I thought another weakness for Biden, by the way, was talking about the old Victrola, the record machine.
The family's they gotta go home, put on the Victrola, and play some sweet jazz, some smooth jazz or something.
Exactly.
That's what's gonna solve the inner city institutionalized racism crisis.
Yes.
We're gonna take out the Victrola.
Yeah.
Joe doesn't realize many people don't have radios and stuff and record players anymore. They got these new things, both. Joe, they're called iPhones.
But again, I think the bar is so low in the Democratic field.
Without a doubt.
That even a comment like that shows how just outdated he is doesn't matter. But look, think of that on a stage with President Donald Trump.
Oh my God.
This is going to be the most hilarious general election debates you've ever seen. There will be at least 3 debates in the general election between President Trump and whomever the Democratic nominee is. That's going to be interesting. Comments like that will be endless fodder for Donald Trump.
Well, I said to a lot of Democrats who were rooting for Trump because they thought he would lose so badly to Hillary or whomever the Democrat was, everybody that's a Trump supporter, be careful what you wish for, because the candidate that seems the most vulnerable now may not end up being that way. We've seen that time and again.
No doubt about it. And the other thing that you don't hear much about is China. They don't want to talk about China because they can't say they're against tariffs. That means they're for China. So he's got them surrounded there, too. Jen Kerns, thank you for joining us today on Liquid Lunch. She's our debate expert. You stay right there. We got two experts coming up right after this, Johnny Burnett and David Eisenbach. Mix it up. I have a drink. You stay right there.